Chosen one, know this truth deep in the marrow of your being. Your presence here is no mere coincidence, no random flicker in the vast cosmic tapestry. Heaven itself, with its ancient wisdom and boundless grace, has meticulously orchestrated every step, every breath, every whispered thought, guiding you to collide with these very words in the precise, perfect timing of the divine. This confluence of spirit and message is not an accident of fate. It is a sacred divine appointment, a nexus point where eternity touches your temporal reality. The boundless spirit of the Most High, the very source of all creation, has reached across the veils, paused your scroll through the illusory currents of daily routine, and drawn you under the profound resonance of this message, because in this sacred now, you stand at the precipice of a monumental, supernatural shift. Anointed one, the appointed hour, long prophesied and deeply felt, has finally dawned. The ancient scriptures, whispers from the dawn of time, declare in Habakkuk 2:3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." This isn't merely a promise from an archaic text, it is an energetic imprint on the fabric of time, a preordained decree. That appointed time, this quantum leap of destiny, is no longer relegated to the elusive tomorrow, nor is it a vague someday shimmering on the horizon. It is now. It is today. It is tonight. It is in the very hours that are unfolding around you. This, beloved soul, is your true Kairos moment, a divinely ordained window of opportunity, a sacred convergence where God's perfect sovereign timing collides with the innermost chambers of your destiny. You have felt it, haven't you? That subtle yet undeniable stirring within your soul, a deep primal yearning, a quiet knowing that something infinitely greater, something profoundly transformative, is not just near, but has already begun to unfold. Heaven, the ethereal realm of pure light and sound, has already opened its mouth, and even now, the reverberating sound of victory, not just for a battle, but for an entire era, is echoing across the very ethers of your life. What the adversary, in its limited understanding, designed to bury you, to extinguish your light, God, the grand alchemist of the universe, has transmuted into the very rich, fertile soil of your most profound blessing. Chosen one, prepare your heart, your spirit, your very essence. For in the celestial spheres, heaven is laughing, not in mockery, not with derision, but with an earth-shattering triumph that ripples through dimensions. And that laugh, that divine roar of joy, is the undeniable announcement that your breakthrough, your cosmic emancipation, has already begun. Chosen one, listen closely with the ears of your spirit, for what I transmit now transcends the superficialities of the mundane. What you accomplish today, in the quiet solitude of your being, may have appeared utterly ordinary, perhaps insignificant, almost invisible to the judging eyes of the world. Yet in the hallowed courts of heaven, it resonated as thunder. It carried an eternal, immeasurable weight, a vibrational frequency that pierced the veil and rose directly before the throne of God. And when it did, he laughed. Not the shallow, transient laughter of mockery, but the profound, resonant laughter of triumph, the all-knowing joy of a divine parent who, from the timeless vantage point of eternity, already comprehends the glorious ending. That sacred sound was victory not just announced, but divinely declared, a cosmic proclamation that the enemy's meticulously crafted schemes have utterly collapsed, crumbling into dust, and your destiny, your unique and vital energetic blueprint, remains eternally secure within the divine matrix. Anointed one, you possess a curious tendency to judge yourself with undue harshness, to hold up a flawed mirror that distorts your progress. You compare your sacred journey to the external highlight reels of others, deeming yourself behind in a race that was never yours to run. You replay old mistakes, echoes from past timelines, and in doing so, Convince yourself that your steps are too weak, too insignificant to truly count. But understand this fundamental truth. Heaven does not measure in the limited, linear terms of earth. Where your human eyes perceive weakness, God, the source of all courage, sees raw, untamed strength. Where you perceive a tiny, trembling seed, He already beholds a flourishing ancient forest, its roots deep in the soil of eternity. Where you discern a trembling prayer whispered through tears, He perceives faith, pure, potent, and powerful enough to shake kingdoms, to shift tectonic plates of spiritual reality. I, too, have walked through those hidden, often agonizing seasons. I have prayed prayers that felt too fragile, too broken, to possibly matter. I have extended forgiveness to those who never offered an apology, knowing it was a release for my own soul. I have clung to the slender thread of hope when despair felt like a safer, more familiar cloak. And in every instance, God, in His infinite wisdom, gently reminded me, my child, the smallest yes offered from a sincere heart carries eternal ripple effect power. A hidden act of obedience unseen by human eyes can ripple across generations, altering karmic patterns and unlocking new timelines. That, beloved chosen one, is precisely why heaven erupted with uncontainable laughter over you today. Never ever underestimate the profound significance of this very moment. You did not merely survive another day. You actively, powerfully interrupted the meticulously laid plan of hell itself. You stood unyielding where collapse looked certain, a beacon of defiance in the face of despair. You spoke a truth, a prayer, a word of affirmation when silence was expected, when fear demanded capitulation. You moved forward, one brave, trembling step at a time, when fear screamed at you to freeze, to retreat, to vanish. That very obedience, fragile though it seemed in your human perception, utterly delighted heaven, sending waves of joy through the cosmic realms. Imagine a toddler's first steps, shaky, wobbling, moments away from falling. The parent is not angry, not critical. The parent rejoices, erupts with unbridled delight, because movement, the very initiation of a new path, has begun. That, precisely, is how God, the divine parent, looked at you today. The undeniable fact that you are still here, still breathing, still seeking, is already a profound testimony, a living testament to an unseen victory. The adversary's plan was not casual. It was meticulously precise, designed to silence your prayer, to bury your hope under layers of cynicism, and to convince you that God had turned His face away. Yet here you are, breathing, seeking, listening, alive. That survival alone, that sheer insistence on existing, is a victory of epic proportions. Every breath you draw declares, not just to yourself, but to the unseen forces, the plan against me has utterly failed. Each morning you rise, each time you choose faith. Even when it shakes like a leaf in the wind, heaven laughs because the enemy lost again. Your life is not some random, chaotic survival. It is irrefutable evidence that God's unwavering hand still holds you, still guides you, still sustains you. And if the adversary could not remove you yesterday, imagine the terror, the palpable fear he now feels, knowing what the divine is preparing to release through you and for you tomorrow. This, chosen one, is why even the smallest act of obedience, the most hidden choice of integrity, must never be dismissed or undervalued. Heaven's economy operates on principles vastly different from Earth's. The world celebrates headlines, promotions, public applause, the superficial glitter of success. But God, the master of the unseen, celebrates the hidden, the sacred, the deeply personal. The prayer whispered in a quiet room, charged with raw emotion. The forgiveness extended to someone who never knew they needed it, or worse, never acknowledged it. The sacrifice that cost you deeply, bringing no human applause, no earthly recognition. Every single unseen act is meticulously recorded in the annals of eternity. Every such act shakes the insidious grip of darkness. I have witnessed this profound truth in my own arduous journey. The moments I mistakenly thought were wasted, lost in the sands of time, were precisely the ones heaven magnified, amplified, and interwoven into my destiny. The secret, yes, the tiny seed of faith planted in the hidden places, the courageous step no one applauded. These became the pivotal turning points, the hinges upon which breakthrough swung open. And today, chosen one, you planted seeds that the adversary, with all its cunning, cannot uproot. Seeds of resilience, seeds of unwavering faith, seeds that will bear fruit for generations you may never personally meet. Heaven has already answered. God has already laughed. And that laugh, that divine roar, means that the momentum, the very energetic current of your life, has definitively shifted. If you could but glimpse what has truly transformed in the unseen realms, you would never doubt again. What looked ordinary here on earth thundered in eternity. What felt like a whisper in your heart became a shout of triumph in heaven. Chosen one, hold this truth close to your heart. Let it permeate your very cellular structure. The very strategy designed to bury you, to keep you small and silenced, has unraveled, dissolved into nothingness. The laughter of heaven is not passive amusement. It is pure, unadulterated power. It is heaven's decree, an irrefutable declaration. This battle in the cosmic sense is already won. The outcome, which once seemed uncertain, is changing with quantum speed. The tide, which appeared to be against you, is turning with irreversible force. Favor, a divine current of grace, is moving, flowing, pouring in your direction. The adversary, in its limited wisdom, studied your patterns, meticulously built traps around your moments of hesitation, relied on your profound exhaustion, calculating your defeat. But today, in a moment of pure, raw courage, you broke the cycle. You gave when nothing remained within you. You rose when you were expected to fall, to crumble under the weight. You spoke when silence seemed the safer, more logical choice. That singular act, that spark of defiance, triggered a chain reaction, a cascade of energetic shifts far beyond your immediate comprehension. It was akin to a grand chess game, the adversary smirking, convinced of an inevitable victory. But your unexpected move, born of divine inspiration, overturned the entire board. That is why God laughed, because he saw what the adversary, blinded by its own hubris, never ever imagined. Anointed one, understand that heaven does not await grand, dramatic gestures or public spectacles. Heaven responds to the quiet, unwavering resonance of faith. Heaven responds to purity of intention. Heaven responds to the raw, unvarnished truth of your spirit. One whispered yes, sincere and hidden in the depths of your being, carries more divine authority than 1,000 empty, bombastic declarations. One secret act of integrity performed without witnesses outweighs 100 staged performances, orchestrated for human applause. So cease minimizing yourself. Stop believing the insidious lie that your obedience only matters when it is noticed, when it garners external validation. Stop comparing your deeply personal sacred journey to the carefully curated highlight reels of others, reels that artfully conceal the immense struggles, the hidden battles, the silent tears. Heaven is not impressed with noise, with superficiality. Heaven treasures depth, authenticity, the true essence of your spirit. And today you proved, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that such profound depth is vibrantly alive within you. Perhaps you still feel unseen, a solitary figure moving through the shadows. Perhaps you believe you are merely surviving, clinging to the last threads of hope. But survival, chosen one, is not small. Survival is a monumental testimony, a living, breathing declaration. Every single breath you take shouts, "I am still here." Every step you whisper, "The plan against me has failed." Every conscious choice to continue, to persist, makes heaven lean forward, rejoicing, declaring, "They are still standing." Chosen one, imprint this truth upon your soul. What tried to destroy you, to dismantle your very being, has failed. That alone, in its profound simplicity, makes your life a living, breathing victory. But God, the Ancient of Days, is declaring more than mere survival. This season is no longer solely about endurance. It is about acceleration. When heaven laughs, it is not just joy. It is a powerful signal. It means the very ground beneath you is preparing to yield the harvest you prayed for, the blessings you longed for, the fulfillment of divine promises. And all of it, every miraculous unfolding, began with your simple, courageous yes today. Chosen one, lean closer to this profound mystery. Let its truth penetrate your conscious and subconscious realms. The laughter of God is no ordinary sound. It is not the shallow amusement of a fleeting moment. It is holy triumph, a cosmic strategy, and an eternal declaration all rolled into one. When God laughs, He is not merely reacting to an event. He is announcing an unfolding reality. That very sound, the reverberating joy from the throne of grace, shakes unseen realms, sending ripples through dimensions, causing the very fabric of spiritual reality to tremble. It signals unequivocally that the atmosphere, the energetic climate around your life, has already undergone a dramatic, irreversible shift. Chains that once appeared unbreakable are not just loosening, but are cracking, dissolving into nothingness. Doors that have stubbornly resisted your every effort are not just creaking, but are trembling on their hinges, preparing to swing wide open. Timelines that seemed stuck, caught in an endless loop, are bending, accelerating, and aligning towards their divine fulfillment. His laughter over you today, chosen one, is the irrefutable proof that your unique, sacred story has officially entered a new, transformative season. Anointed one, your very survival, often dismissed as mere weakness, is infinitely more powerful than you conceive. You frequently downplay your incredible endurance, labeling it as frailty or lack. But survival itself is a profound testimony, a living declaration of divine strength. Every time you breathe, you are, in essence, mocking the elaborate plans of hell. You have outlived the tempestuous storms that were meticulously designed to bury you alive. You have walked, often in the dark, through nights that were orchestrated to shatter your spirit. Yet here you stand, alive, seeking Him, persisting. Do not dare to call that small. Heaven, in its boundless wisdom, calls it victory. Every sunrise that greets your eyes is your personal announcement to the unseen realms. The plan against me has failed. I know this profound space. I have lived through days where the mere act of getting out of bed felt like wrestling an entire invisible army. I have whispered prayers so faint, so broken, they barely formed coherent words. I have consciously, painstakingly, chosen hope while drowning in an ocean of unanswerable questions. Later, God, in His gentle revelation, showed me that those very moments, those seemingly insignificant acts of persistence, carried immeasurable eternal weight. Heaven, the meticulous recorder of all truth, archived what earth callously ignored. My sighs became sacred songs, my tears the very seeds of future blessings. My perceived weakness, transmuted through divine alchemy, became raw, untamed courage. And this precisely is what heaven sees in you now. Chosen one, grasp this liberating truth. Heaven celebrates the first tentative step, not solely the glorious finish line. The world, in its superficiality, waits for trophies, for grand applause, for external validation. But heaven, in its profound understanding, rejoices when you simply move forward, when you dare to take that initial trembling step. That hesitant yet courageous yes you gave today was enough to rattle eternity, to send shockwaves through the spiritual firmament. That fragile act of obedience carried immense, unstoppable force. God laughed because He, from His omniscient perspective, already knows how far this one single step will ultimately carry you. The world adores visibility, showering praise upon what it can quantify and measure. But heaven, the realm of true value, treasures the hidden, the intimate, the unseen. A prayer whispered in the sacred darkness of your room can break generational curses, unraveling ancient energetic knots. Forgiveness released without witnesses can unlock doors of blessing and freedom for generations of your descendants. A sacrifice no one applauded, costing you deeply, can birth supernatural increase and abundance far beyond human comprehension. Do not, therefore, despise the hidden, for heaven magnifies what earth, in its blindness, so often overlooks. Anointed one, picture, if you will, the serene ripples expanding across the surface of water. A stone falls, and the initial splash appears small, almost inconsequential. Yet the ripples extend outwards, reaching farther than your human eyes can possibly follow, touching distant shores. Your obedience today was that stone. The splash, the immediate impact, looked ordinary to you. But heaven, with its expanded vision, saw waves. Waves of grace, waves of power, waves of transformation, spreading across eternity, altering the very fabric of time and space. Angels were instantly dispatched, mobilized by your single act of faith. Seeds, long buried in the fertile soil of your destiny, began to push upward, stirred by this divine momentum. Closed gates, once immovable, began to shift, to groan, to prepare for opening. What appeared unnoticed, what felt insignificant, has already stirred the unseen realms into profound action. The laughter of God, beloved one, means the game, the adversary's twisted game, is definitively over. The enemy, in its arrogance, believed it had mastered your patterns, your tendencies. It relied on your exhaustion, your hesitation, your ingrained silence. It assumed you would fold, retreat, surrender just as before. But today, you did not. You broke the cycle. You rose when you were supposed to sink. You gave when you truly had nothing left to offer. You trusted when fear screamed louder than any voice you had ever heard. That single act flipped the board. The adversary smirked, convinced it held the winning hand, gloating in its perceived victory. But your unexpected, divinely inspired move overturned its entire meticulously crafted plan. God laughed because he saw what the enemy, in its limited temporal view, never ever imagined possible. Chosen one, this revelation changes everything about how you walk, how you carry yourself, how you perceive your very existence. When heaven laughs over your life, you cease crawling in the dust of shame and unworthiness. You stop begging for permission to simply exist, to occupy your rightful space in the universe. You cease comparing your unique journey to the manufactured realities of others. Instead, you begin to carry yourself with a quiet, profound boldness, an inner knowing that radiates from your core. The laughter of God is absolute assurance. It is heaven's unambiguous way of saying, you are not behind, you are not overlooked, you are moving in perfect divine timing. Acceleration, a quantum leap in your journey, naturally follows divine laughter. Yesterday, in retrospect, was about survival, about holding on by a thread. Today, however, is about increase, about expansion, about an overflowing abundance. The very soil beneath your feet is shifting, transforming. What you sowed in tears, in pain, in quiet struggle, will return to you with uncontainable joy, a harvest beyond measure. What looked buried, irrevocably lost, is now breaking through, emerging into the light. God does not laugh without profound reason. His laughter means that breakthrough is not just coming. It has, in this sacred moment, already begun. Think of your long nights of silence, the years filled with unanswered questions, the desolate seasons where nothing, absolutely nothing, seemed to change. Every single one of those moments was a seed meticulously planted in the fertile ground of your being. Those seeds have not died. They have been hidden, gestating in the darkness, waiting for this precise moment. And now, heaven's laughter is the sacred rain, nourishing, awakening those seeds to burst forth into glorious life. The laughter is God declaring, with cosmic certainty, now is the appointed time, now is the season of manifestation. Chosen one, never ever forget that your obedience carries an immense generational weight. What you did today is not solely about your personal journey. It will echo through bloodlines, down the ancient energetic pathways of your ancestors and descendants. Children you may never physically meet will inherit open doors, blessings unlocked by your courageous faith. Families will walk in profound freedom because you whispered yes when every fiber of your being screamed no. Communities will experience unprecedented blessing because you endured, because you persisted, because you refused to give up. Heaven laughs because God, the weaver of all destinies, sees the magnificent legacy that your quiet yet powerful obedience has secured. Anointed one, hold this profound revelation close. Let it become an unwavering anchor for your soul. You are not simply surviving for your own sake. You are carrying destiny itself within you, a sacred blueprint entrusted to your care. Heaven's laughter is heaven's guarantee, an unbreakable seal that your life carries meaning, purpose, and impact far beyond the confines of your present circumstances. That is precisely why you must silence every whisper of doubt. That is why you must cease despising your progress, no matter how small it seems. The laughter of God proves beyond any doubt that your journey is not stagnant, but is powerfully advancing, moving toward its preordained fulfillment. So lift your head, chosen one. The laughter of heaven surrounds you like an impenetrable shield of light and joy. Carry it within your heart. Let it resonate in every cell of your body. Let it utterly drown out every whisper of fear, every insidious lie of insufficiency. Let it remind you, each time you take a step forward, however small, that the King of Glory, the Creator of all dimensions, has already laughed over your life. And his laughter, beloved soul, is the undeniable eternal seal of your victory. Chosen one, understand that the laughter of God is not the narrative's end. Rather, it marks the profound beginning of an unparalleled acceleration. That resonant sound, echoing through the celestial spheres, is not merely a celebration of past victories or present alignments. It is an activation code. It sets into motion a cascade of divine events that no power of darkness, no earthly scheme, no energetic interference can possibly reverse or impede. When God laughs, the spiritual climate around you fundamentally shifts, bending in your favor. The very ground beneath your feet, which once felt barren or resistant, begins to prepare itself, tilling the soil for an unprecedented increase. What was delayed, trapped in a temporal loop, is now being released with quantum speed. What was locked, sealed behind impenetrable barriers, is being opened. That laugh, that divine decree of joy, has already gone ahead of you, journeying through time and space to make crooked places straight, to smooth the rough paths, to align every facet of your journey. Anointed one, this is precisely why you must never despise the waiting season, the periods of apparent stillness or delay. In those moments, you mistakenly perceive delay as denial, believing your prayers were rejected, your hopes unseen. But in truth, it was preparation. You interpreted silence as rejection, as abandonment, but it was, in fact, hidden alignment, a sacred orchestration taking place behind the veil. God was meticulously building strength within your spirit, cultivating resilience in your soul, all while no human eye was watching. He was planting seeds of endurance, of deep faith that could only flourish and take root in the rich, dark soil of struggle and perceived setbacks. And now the laughter of heaven is the life-giving rain that awakens those dormant seeds, causing them to burst forth into vibrant life. What you tragically believed was wasted time, lost years, has, in the grand cosmic design, become the unshakable foundation of your imminent breakthrough. I know, intimately, the profound pain of delay. I understand what it feels like to pray with unwavering fervor for years, seemingly without any visible answers, without a single sign of movement. I know the sting, the raw ache of watching others celebrate their breakthroughs, their triumphs, while you remain in a season of quiet solitude, hidden from the world's gaze. Yet every single time I reach the precipice of despair, on the very edge of relinquishing all hope, God, in His infinite tenderness, whispered, "Wait, trust my timing. It is perfect. It is divine." Looking back, with the clarity that only retrospection offers, I can now vividly see that His delay was not denial. His silence was not abandonment. My hiddenness was not punishment, but profound protection. It was training. It was God, the Master Weaver, enlarging my capacity, expanding my soul to carry blessings far greater, far more abundant than my limited human imagination could ever have conceived. When His divine timing finally arrived, His laughter, now understood in its profound context, made perfect, undeniable sense. It proved beyond any shadow of doubt that every single moment of waiting, every tear shed, every hidden prayer had a sacred, immutable purpose. Chosen one, your hidden years, those seasons of quiet growth and unseen struggle, have been holy classrooms of destiny, sacred spaces of profound transformation. Every whispered prayer offered in the depths of your heart was a potent seed planted in fertile ground. Every tear that fell, a testament to your human vulnerability and divine strength, watered that sacred soil. Every unseen act of obedience, performed without expectation of reward, meticulously fertilized the ground of your future. Heaven's laughter is the undeniable proof that the soil has broken open. The harvest, long awaited, is now powerfully rising. What you mistakenly thought was buried forever, lost to the sands of time, is now vibrantly alive. What you believed was invisible, hidden from all perception, is now majestically manifesting. Heaven rejoices, for the release has come, and the promise etched in eternity is now beautifully unfolding. Anointed one, ponder the ancient story of Sarah. She, in her human skepticism, laughed when she heard God's audacious promise of a child in her old age, for it felt utterly impossible, defying all natural laws. Yet God's laughter, infinitely greater, more potent than her doubt, was not shaken by her fleeting skepticism. He was anchored unshakably in the eternal power of His word. And just as Sarah, against all odds, held Isaac, the living, breathing evidence of God's impossible promise, you too will hold in your hands what He has definitively spoken over your life. Heaven laughs because impossibility itself has already surrendered to divine certainty, bowing before the sovereign will of the Creator. Chosen one, begin to live as though the promise is already here, tangible, manifest. Pray as though the answer has already arrived, whispered on the wind. Speak as though the blessing is already nestled securely in your hands. Walk as though the doors, once formidable, are already swung wide open before you. God's laughter is not a mere suggestion. It is divine confirmation. It declares to all of creation, visible and invisible, that the matter has been settled, irrevocably decided. It proclaims that your future is secure, that your destiny is unstoppable, an unfolding masterpiece. I have lived through seasons that felt unequivocally like the absolute end. I mourned dreams I mistakenly believed had died a permanent death. I buried opportunities I was convinced were gone forever, irrevocably lost. I watched doors close with a final, definitive click and assumed they would never, ever open again. But then God moved. Suddenly, provision appeared from seemingly nowhere, materializing from the ethereal realms. Connections, divine alignments were made in ways I could never have planned or orchestrated. New paths opened in places that seemed utterly impossible. In those breathtaking moments, I realized that heaven had been laughing all along. His laughter had declared victory, resounding through the cosmos, even when my natural eyes could not yet perceive it. Anointed One, let heaven's laughter, its pure, unadulterated joy, permeate and strengthen your very soul. You may feel unqualified, but heaven has already divinely equipped you, gifted you with unique abilities. You may feel unseen, but heaven has already applauded your every hidden effort. You may feel weak, fragile, but God has clothed you in His immeasurable strength, wrapped you in His invincible armor. Stop diminishing your progress, no matter how incremental. Stop belittling your obedience, however small it appears. Heaven's laughter is your eternal reminder that you are chosen. You are approved. You are anointed for a purpose far grander than you can grasp. Chosen One, never forget, heaven does not laugh over wasted stories, over lives without meaning. If God is laughing, it means your scars, once emblems of pain, will powerfully testify of miraculous healing. Your tears, once symbols of sorrow, will become rivers of refreshing, bringing life to parched lands. Your pain, once a heavy burden, will be alchemically reshaped, transmuted into raw, unstoppable power. His laughter is heaven's decree that your purpose, your unique divine mission, cannot be erased, cannot be undone. What the adversary, in its misguided malice designed to bury you, has, through divine intervention, become the fertile soil of your most profound blessing. Anointed One, your breakthrough is not solely for your personal gain or relief. It is for all those who are connected energetically and spiritually to your destiny, to your life force. Your obedience will open doors, not just for you, but for others walking behind you. Your resilience will ignite hope in weary, flagging hearts. Your unwavering faith will spark courage in souls ready to surrender to despair. Heaven laughs because God sees the profound, expansive ripple effect of your yes. He sees generations transformed, karmic patterns broken, new legacies birthed, all because you chose to keep standing, to keep believing. So rise in holy confidence, Chosen One. This is not arrogance, it is pure, unadulterated agreement with heaven's decree. You are not crawling, striving, or begging toward victory. You are powerfully advancing from a victory already secured in the timeless realms. Heaven's laughter silences every lie, dismantles every curse, and utterly destroys every dark scheme. His joy is infinitely stronger than fear. His decree is louder than doubt. His laughter is the final definitive word. Lift your head high, Anointed One. The King has laughed over your life. Carry that sacred sound within your spirit. Let it silence every fear. Let it drown every whisper of insecurity. Let it remind you each time you step forward that when heaven laughs, the outcome is already written. The story is sealed. The ending is secure. The victory is undeniable. Heaven's laughter is your covering, your confidence, and your eternal crown. Chosen One, hear me clearly. The laughter of heaven is not a faint echo drifting into silence, a fleeting whisper lost in the ether. It is the living roar of eternity, the vibrant, pulsating sound of God's triumph, reverberating with profound intensity through the entirety of creation. When the Father laughs, it is not mere amusement, not simply an entertaining sound. It is decree. It is power made manifest. His laughter announces the absolute certainty of victory, long before your natural eyes can perceive its physical manifestation. His laughter shakes the unseen realms, causing spiritual principalities to tremble, and proclaims with cosmic authority that every scheme, every intricate trap of darkness has already collapsed, crumbling into dust. His joy, pure and uncontainable, is the undeniable assurance that your destiny, your unique energetic blueprint, is sealed in eternal triumph. Anointed One, His laughter is vibrantly alive this very moment. It is not confined to the echoes of yesterday's victories or the promises of a distant tomorrow. It is covering you right now in this sacred present, surrounding you like an impenetrable shield of divine light. When God laughs, legions of angels are instantly set into motion, dispatched to execute His will on your behalf. When he laughs, locked doors, once formidable barriers, swing open with ease, revealing new pathways and opportunities. When he laughs, chains you mistakenly thought were permanent, binding you to the past, break into 1,000 pieces, releasing you into unprecedented freedom. His laughter shifts entire atmospheres, altering vibrational frequencies, and commands a profound supernatural alignment in your life. It is the very sound of acceleration, a quantum leap in your journey. It is heaven's unambiguous announcement that the blessing, the long-awaited divine provision, has already left his throne, traveling through the cosmic currents and is rushing with immense speed into your life. I intimately know the ache of silence, the profound emptiness of waiting. I have sat through long, desolate nights where prayer felt like an exercise in futility, unanswered, unheard, and hope felt like a fragile, flickering candle in a hurricane. I questioned in those darkest hours whether heaven had truly turned its face away from me. Yet when breakthrough finally arrived, often suddenly, unexpectedly, I understood. Heaven had never been silent. God had been laughing all along, a deep, knowing, triumphant laughter. His laughter was not mocking me in my struggle. It was shielding me, protecting me from unseen dangers. His joy was irrefutable proof that the delay I experienced was not denial, but a purposeful design, that the waiting was not punishment, but meticulous preparation, that what felt wasted was actually working behind the veil for my ultimate good. His laughter meant I was never abandoned, only hidden, carefully nurtured until the appointed perfect time of unveiling. Chosen one, your very survival, often dismissed as an inconsequential feat, is not small. It is prophecy in motion, a living, breathing testament to an unfolding future. Every breath you draw is a testimony. Every step you take, however small, declares to hell itself, to every dark force, the plan has failed. My spirit remains unconquered. The adversary, in its meticulous cunning, designed your collapse with surgical precision, weaving traps and illusions. But here you are, against all odds, still standing. You prayed when you felt utterly empty, when your soul was parched. You forgave when bitterness seemed the safer, more familiar path. You hoped when despair pressed hard against your spirit, threatening to consume you. Each act, each conscious choice shook the unseen realms, sending ripples through eternity. Each choice provoked heaven's uncontainable joy. Heaven laughs because the one they thought would fall, the one they sought to silence, is still standing, not just surviving, but standing in glorious victory. Anointed one, his laughter does not merely celebrate survival, it powerfully points to multiplication, to an exponential increase. You are not just recovering fragments of what was lost. You are stepping into an overflow, an abundance that defies earthly logic. What was barren will bloom again, lush and vibrant. What was broken will be rebuilt, not just restored, but stronger, more resilient than before. What was delayed will come, not slowly, but suddenly, with a rush of divine momentum. Heaven laughs because your portion, your divine inheritance, is not emptiness, but profound abundance. Your inheritance is not scarcity, but an overflow that defies all limits, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. His laughter is irrefutable proof that you will not finish in lack, but in a wealth of blessings, in overflowing plenty. Chosen one, release yesterday's shame. Let it fall away like old skin, no longer serving your highest good. Stop rehearsing past failures, replaying old mistakes in the theater of your mind. Heaven's laughter is infinitely louder, more potent than regret. It silences the insidious whispers of guilt. It erases the heavy weight of condemnation. You are not chained to the past. You are not defined by old wounds, by the scars of battles fought. You are not limited by perceived weakness. You are chosen, anointed, redeemed, and appointed for a divine purpose. Heaven laughs because your name is etched irrevocably in the eternal book of destiny, and no hand, no force, no power can possibly erase it. I too have battled the insidious feeling of unworthiness. I have whispered in secret, in the quietest corners of my soul, "Why me? Am I truly enough?" But the Lord, in His infinite grace, answered, "It is not about perfection, my child. It is about surrender. Heaven does not laugh because you achieved flawlessly. Heaven laughs because you yielded, because you said yes when every part of your human self resisted. That yes, however small or trembling, carried eternal weight. That obedience shifted timelines, altering trajectories you cannot yet see. That faith planted seeds that will grow, blossom, and bear fruit long after you are gone. Your surrender has altered storylines, interwoven destinies in ways you cannot yet comprehend. This is why His laughter is unending, eternal, because it is rooted in unbreakable covenant, not in fickle performance. Anointed one, never forget that His laughter is also potent warfare. It dismantles strongholds, those invisible fortresses of negative energy and false beliefs. It ridicules the utter futility of the enemy's desperate last-ditch attempts. It is the sound that proclaims with unassailable authority, "This battle, in its deepest essence, is already finished. The victory is secured." Heaven laughs because the weapons aimed at you, forged in the fires of malice, failed to achieve their destructive purpose. Heaven laughs because curses meant to bind you transmuted into blessings, unexpected streams of grace. Heaven laughs because pits dug deep for your demise became wells of provision, gushing forth sustenance. Heaven laughs because what was meticulously meant to destroy you has, in fact, only revealed your profound, inherent resilience. Chosen one, let that divine sound saturate your spirit, permeate every cell of your being. Let it become your unwavering anthem. Carry it into the darkest hours of the night when fear attempts to rise. Carry it into the quiet moments of morning when doubt whispers its insidious lies. If God is laughing, you can rest. If God is laughing, you can trust, absolutely and unequivocally. His laughter is not careless. His laughter is covenantal. It is the eternal decree that He has already seen the glorious ending, and that ending is profound, undeniable victory. His laughter is louder than fear, greater than doubt, stronger than every whisper of insecurity that assails your mind. So rise now, anointed one. This season is not about merely surviving. It is about overflowing, about an abundance that spills beyond measure. It is not about hiding your light. It is about unveiling your true, radiant self. It is not about delay. It is about rapid, divine manifestation. Heaven laughs because your mantle, your spiritual calling, is too weighty, too significant to remain unseen. Your authority, divinely bestowed, is too sharp, too potent to remain unheard. Your influence, destined for greatness, is too vast to remain confined. Chosen one, carry heaven's laughter as your anthem. Let it silence fear. Let it crush comparison. Let it steady your soul. When doubt tries to whisper its toxic suggestions again, step forward in unwavering confidence, knowing that heaven has already celebrated you. The decree is spoken. The outcome is settled. The laughter of the King is your covering, your confidence, and your eternal crown. Chosen one, as this sacred transmission draws to a close, I implore you to feel the profound weight, the comforting embrace of heaven's laughter still resting, reverberating, and resonating over you. The King has smiled, a cosmic grin that spans dimensions. The throne itself has shaken, not in upheaval, but in pure, unbridled joy. And your name, your unique energetic signature, has been spoken in exultation, declared with triumphant glee across the ethereal realms. That laughter was not empty, not a fleeting sound. It was the unequivocal signal, the cosmic gong, announcing that your true Kairos moment, your time of divine acceleration and transformation, has now definitively begun. What you prayed in the depths of silence, in the hidden chambers of your heart, has already stirred the heavens, sending ripples of intention through the divine matrix. What you whispered in moments of profound weakness, when your voice trembled, has already been recorded and written as an undeniable victory in the book of life. Anointed one, this is not the end of your extraordinary story. It is the breathtaking turning of a pivotal page, the commencement of a new glorious chapter. The supernatural transfer, the realignment of cosmic energies, is already in motion, actively unfolding in your favor. Doors once stubbornly sealed are now aligning with divine precision. Blessings long withheld or unseen are converging, drawing together like celestial bodies in perfect orbit. And breakthroughs, once distant hopes, are accelerating, rushing with irresistible force toward you. The very soil that once felt like a burial ground, a place of endings and despair, is now, through divine alchemy, transforming into the fertile, life-giving place of your most magnificent blooming. The tears you sowed in secret in moments of solitude and pain are now rising, not as sorrow, but as an abundant, joyous harvest, overflowing and rich beyond measure. So walk forward with an unshakable, holy confidence. Stand tall, not in arrogance, but in profound gratitude, knowing with every fiber of your being that the author of your destiny, the weaver of all realities, is laughing over you with pure, unadulterated joy. His delight, his boundless joy, is your intrinsic strength. His laughter is your impenetrable shield, warding off every arrow of doubt and fear. His promise, eternal and true, is your unwavering inheritance. Stay faithful, chosen one. Remain aligned with this divine truth, anchored in the knowing that you are deeply loved and profoundly purposed. Keep saying yes, even when the next step feels small, insignificant, or shrouded in uncertainty. For every single act of obedience, every conscious choice to align with truth is echoing, resonating, and reverberating through eternity, creating ripple effects that transcend your current understanding. Chosen one, I bless you now with courage, a boundless wellspring of strength for the road ahead, for every challenge you will face. I bless you with an abiding peace for every battle, an inner calm that surpasses all understanding. And I bless you with vision, the capacity to see far beyond what your natural eyes can currently hold, to perceive the divine blueprint unfolding. Share this profound word, this message of hope and awakening, with those whose spirits resonate, with those who desperately need to hear it. And let your heart, your sacred inner sanctuary, remain open, receptive, and hungry for more of these divine truths, more of these cosmic revelations. Subscribe to this channel or simply acknowledge in your heart if your spirit feels undeniably led, and declare with full conviction, I receive this victory. Go now in holy confidence, in unwavering assurance. The King has laughed, and that laughter, beloved, is the eternal seal of your victory.